Hi, I'm Amanda Freed, and I'm coming to you live from the core at La Encantada. So today we're live streaming, but if you don't catch the live streams, you know we're coming every week to offer you meditation and other fabulous classes. So you can catch us on tmcaz.com. You can catch us on TMC's YouTube channel, on Facebook. We are dedicated to providing the services that we've always provided for you in creative ways. So this time of global pandemic has made us all really creative. And we never wanted to stop offering you all the things we know that will help support you through this time. And every month I've been working with a different theme and offering you a different meditation theme. And this month is Ready, Steady, Sit, because we all kind of are feeling like we want to go, we want to get back into life. And clearly it's not time. You know, I'm not telling you anything you don't know if I tell you that the numbers are up again a little bit. And so it's really still time to be sitting and turning in and not trying to get back to your previous life. And, you know, it's a matter of opinion. Some people think that they should be doing something else. And if you disagree with me, I still love you with my whole heart. So do what feels best for you. But for me, the idea of continuing to turn in feels right and feels good. And it's a way that I feel like I can support you through meditation. So it's no mystery that it's November 10th. The election has happened. And I want to honor that for some of you, it's gone the way you wanted, and for some it hasn't. And no matter where you sit in that space, we are going to go through some major shifts. And so how do we deal with shift with some grace for ourselves? Because shift is not linear. Change is not linear. It will be a little bumpy. It might be very bumpy. But how can we hold on to ourselves and keep our own stability as the earth shifts, as the country shifts? And I think of it as sort of being at the beach. So we're going to do a little, we'll do a meditation like that today. I really want to support you in holding your own heart, holding your own stability through this big time of shift. We'll work a little bit with the breath. We will, because if you think about the breath, it's always shifting. It's always changing. We're never in the same pattern for very long, right? We inhale, and then pretty immediately we exhale. And so know that, just like everything else, because the breath is what begins life, everything works that way as well. We might think, oh my gosh, this is taking forever, or it feels like this current situation in my personal life or in my work life is going to last forever, and nothing does. And even if something feels like it's stagnant, it's always in a little bit of a growth or a destruction shifting phase. And we talk about that a lot in yoga. So we're either building something up or breaking it down so we can build something else. So just know that nothing is static. So many of us are terrified of change. Most of us are. Like, even if something's terrible in my life, I'd rather stay with that than have something change. It's true for most people. But if we knew that everything is shifting all the time, would we be so quick to say, well, I don't want change, or so quick to hold on to something? We might be able to meet and greet this shift with a little bit of grace and go, oh yeah, now I remember everything's changing always. So how do I embrace the shift with a full confidence that things are usually shifting to a higher situation? You know, most of us don't move from a great house into a terrible house. Most of us don't have a great car and then go buy a junky car. Most things are really spiraling upwards. So if we can remember that shift is most often for growth and positivity, we become a little less resistant. And like I said, then we can maybe meet the shift and the change with some grace. So I'm going to lead you through a meditation to help you with that a little bit today. So find your comfortable seat. And remember, we've said that and if this is your first time with me, we've said that the comfortable seat doesn't have to be any sort of yogic posture, or you don't have to sit on the floor. More important, that you find yourself someplace comfortable. Might be a big comfy chair or the couch. We do prefer sitting, if you can, to lying down, just because we stay more alert and we stay with the practice when we're sitting. And when you do find your comfortable space, you can gently allow the eyes to close down. If you happen to open your eyes, you'll notice I have my eyes closed. It's okay. You can begin to connect with your breath. So I always say the breath is the first line of defense. It's also your first line of awareness. When you connect with your breath in these first couple of moments of meditation, we're going to do it in such a way that we're not going to orchestrate or control the breath. We just want to notice the breath. So just inhale and know that you're inhaling. Exhale and be aware that you're exhaling. If you'd like, you can gently assess the breath without judgment. An assessment is just an understanding and awareness, not a judgment. So notice if your breath is smooth and full, or short and choppy. If it's short, choppy, it may be you have a little stress today. Maybe you're not feeling your best in this moment. Maybe you're anxious over something. That's okay. We just want the breath to tell us or inform us about our well-being in the moment. So just connect with your breath. Sometimes the breath will deepen as you pay attention to it, and sometimes it might get a little more shallow, and that might be a more relaxed breath for you. So there's no right and wrong here. You just inhale and know that you're inhaling. And exhale and know that you're exhaling. Notice that all through the inhale, it's kind of like it'll come to a crescendo and then shift into the exhale. The breaths kind of connect to one another. Notice that the beginning of the exhale might feel a little different than the middle or the end. So this is same as anything else, you're shifting. But usually the breath shifts a little more smoothly than other things, right? We don't even notice it most of the day. It's always active, it's always moving, it's always shifting. I'm always inhaling, I'm always exhaling. And we don't say, no, I don't want that inhale to go. That's a change. We just let the breath flow and shift and change. No resistance there. Except maybe we get nervous or upset, we wind up holding the breath without even knowing it. And then we'll do a gentle body scan, just to get the muscles to soften and release a little bit so that we can have a more relaxed state in the body when we begin to meditate. So you can gently start with the low jaw, allowing the low jaw to release. So the low jaw can just soften and release and then slide back gently. When you slide the jaw back, the neck can elongate. You just want to think about releasing any tension in the jaw. I know so many of us will clench the jaw with some stress. And then bring the awareness up to the skin of the forehead. We tend to scrunch that up as well if we're thinking a lot or stressing a little bit. So just allow the skin of the forehead to be smooth. You can just raise the eyebrows slightly to release any tension around the eyes. And then bring the awareness to the area just above and around the ears, the sides of your scalp. like to hold a lot of tension there as well. So see if you can just notice the moment you identify a muscle group or an area of the body, it will immediately start to shift and change. Just a little bit of attention. It might shift back, so you may have to go back, like go back to the jaw or the forehead. And bring the awareness to the shoulders and just let them fall naturally. So you don't have to depress your shoulders sharply. If they've been up around the ears, just use an exhale to soften them instead of dropping them abruptly. So we want to honor a gentle shift today. And then inhaling, feel your rib cage expand. And for today, not just to the front and the back, but out to the sides as well. So allow that rib cage to be 3D, three-dimensional. Because in between the ribs, there are these beautiful stretchy muscles, so that rib cage can expand and allow for the lungs to expand more, allow for some fresh breath to come in, some stagnant air to leave. Allow the arms to hang heavy by the sides. And just allow the hands to fall how they do. They might fall palms up or palms down in your lap. So you don't have to create that either. Just notice what the hands do when they're left to their own devices. And then breathe into your belly. On the inhale, allow the belly to be soft and full. Another place, especially those of us in the West, really hold a lot of tension. Feel like we've got to keep our abs really tight. But for now, we just want to let that go. Let your abdominal muscles soften a little bit. And then feel your hips sink down into the seat beneath you. Allow the legs and the feet to just release. No work to be done, no gripping for now. And then for a moment, from the top of your head down to your feet, just do a gentle scan on your own. See if there's any areas you need to go back to. And the way to go back is just to put your attention there. Is there any part of your body calling out to you in pain or discomfort that maybe just needs another moment of attention? And then imagine yourself standing at the shoreline of the ocean. So you know that place where the water meets the sand and the tide comes in and out. If you've never been to the ocean, just imagine yourself standing in soft, wet sand. Because even if there's no water, sand is always shifting and moving. And if you've put your foot ever in dry sand, you notice it kind of conforms around your foot. And then the wind might come and blow some of those grains of sand over your foot. So it's constantly shifting and moving. And then if you move your muscles a little bit, just a tiny bit, so imagine yourself standing there just at the shoreline. Notice how your feet feel standing in that sand. Might be a little cool, a little wet. Notice if you look forward, you can see the water coming towards you. And you're just far enough that the water might tickle your toes a little bit as it comes in. And just notice what that feels like. So the water might tickle the toes as it comes in, and then as it pulls out, you're going to feel a shift underneath your toes. Like maybe the sand underneath your toes has gotten a little more unstable. And now every time the water comes in, it might go a little further up your foot. And so it's drying some sand out. It's literally taking the sand out from underneath your feet. But you can still feel this sense of being rooted down into the earth because the sands may be shifting, but you can still keep your stability. And every wave that comes in is different. Some are stronger, some are more gentle. Some barely disturb the sand, and some it feels like will take all the sand from under your feet, so you may need to reset your feet. Now, if you have a hard time visualizing, it's not a problem. Any way that you can bring this image into your awareness. Some people just feel into it. Some people can hear the ocean. We all experience in different ways. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Gently bring your awareness back. It's also a good idea to bring as many of your senses to the party as you can. So you can feel what the sand and the water feel like under your feet. In the movement, notice nothing is still in this moment. Everything is always moving. You might feel some wind or a spray of water on your skin. Always shifting, always moving. And then what might you hear if you were standing at the shoreline? Might there be some birds? Are there other people around? Might there be laughter? Even squeals when people come into the water? Is the surf loud or soft? Like, are there crashing waves, or is it just a constant, smooth sound of lapping water on the shoreline? Know that your experience isn't right or wrong, and it will be different from everybody else's. So bring as many of your senses. Like, now you go and imagine, what do you see around you? Do you see boats? Do you see another shore on the other side? Or is it endless ocean? Deepen your breath. Allow as much of your awareness to come into this moment as you can. Notice that everything around you is moving all the time, but that you feel very stable on your feet. Bringing the awareness again back to your feet, back to the changing, shifting sands, back to the movement of the water. We may feel unstable at times. We may need to root down through the feet a little more firmly. But connect to a deep sense of the fact that you will be okay. That shift is natural and normal, is always happening, and that we can move with it in grace. Now deepen your breath. And over the course of the next 3 breaths, Just allow your awareness to come back up to the surface, back to the moment, back to your body, back to the room that you're in. So you'll always want to come out of meditation very slowly, very gently. You can stretch or move a little bit. And in time, we'll just blink the eyes open. If you're home and you want to stay in meditation, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we'll bring the awareness back, gently allowing the eyes to open. You can look around the room that you're in. See if your vision has changed. Notice how the body feels. Welcome back. So this practice is really meant to support you in knowing that as more and more shift and change comes, you can keep that image that, yes, things are changing. It might even feel like the very ground beneath your feet is unstable. But we can find a stability within ourselves so that it doesn't matter what shifts around us, that we're always going to be okay within ourselves. And so I'm going to keep coming to you. So this month is Ready, Steady, Sit, because I want you to really, as often as you can, feel grounded. Remember, you can listen to these meditations again and again. I so love being here with you and teaching meditation for you. If you want to contact me directly, amandafreed25@gmail.com. I teach other classes online, but I'm so honored and thrilled to show up with you here at the core, and will continue to do so. Thank you so much. Have a fabulous day.